Alright, let's get started on our backs. So come into your back. You can lay down in full corpse pose. Or you can bring the soles of your feet to the ground, knees up, let your feet be a little wider. Find that position where your feet are the distance away from your glutes that is comfortable. So you might need to move them a little further away or a little closer to you. Allow your knees to drop in towards each other and just start to land on the ground. Feel your hips on the ground. Your shoulders on the ground. Give your head a little wiggle. And landing on the ground. Perhaps even saying to yourself right here in this moment, all of my needs are met. And the practice of yoga is not about avoiding negative emotions, but it's about moving and breathing and connecting with our body so that we can allow these emotions to pass through us. So emotions are just filters for our environment. Right now it's very natural that our environment is in big upheaval. It's very natural that our bodies and our minds may feel the effects of that upheaval. So throughout this practice, we're just going to focus on really being in our physical body in this moment in time and taking a break from whatever else is going on. And focusing on some places that we might be holding some tension. So starting with your torso, if it helps, you can bring your hands just underneath your ribcage. Allow the warmth of your hands to start to soften this space and bring focus to this space. Allowing your breath to begin to land more fully in your torso. And celebrating your breath, your life force. Watching it gently breathe in fresh and sweep away things no longer needed. Then bring the palms of your hands onto the ground. Bring your hands onto the ground, palms facing up to the ceiling, and let your palms be soft. Bring your awareness to your hands. We're just going to work through a hand meditation. So we're going to bring our first finger and our thumb to touch. We're going to say I. Second finger, am, here, now. So working through the fingers, I am here now. Slowly touching one finger at a time, both hands. I am here now. Starting to go through this a few times in your mind. Say it out loud. Slowing it down, really touching each finger to the thumb and connecting with your hands. And let your hands soften open after a full round. And check in with yourself, really asking yourself, how are you doing? How are you emotionally? How are you mentally? How are you physically? And allow space for the answers without judgment, without frustration. Just greeting yourself with a little kindness. Now bringing a knee in at a time to the chest. Give yourself a little hug and you can rock it side to side if that feels good. Take your feet up in the ceiling and flex and point the toes. Spread the toes nice and wide. And then take some ankle circles with the feet nice and slow. Bring the toes down towards the shins and then take low, long, slow circles. Slow as you can. Trying to make the movement only in the feet and feeling the muscles of the feet. And then switch the direction of your circle. And then bend the knees. We're gonna bring the knees over the hips, bring the ankles even with the knees. Start to fire up the stomach. So pull the stomach down towards the spine. We're gonna start to move the legs. So pushing one leg at a time away from you, bringing a knee in, bicycling the legs. Core engaged, start to really draw that stomach towards the spine. Have a chair removal. Then bring the knees in, rock it side to side. Roll on over to a side and come up to an easy seat position. Small cramped spaces, almost kicked my coffee over. Would have been a disaster. All right, come on up to a seated position. Try to get even on the hips, tall in the spine, as tall as you can. Now we're going to bring the chin down towards the chest and take the head in a nice slow circle as you're feeling every point of the circle. Find the tension in your neck. When you complete the circle, bring it all the way back in the other direction. And then bring the head back to center. You're going to start to move and breathe. Inhaling, arms up overhead. And exhale, pull them down. Inhale up. And exhale, pull them down. See if you can start to draw the stomach in towards the spine. Activating not only the arms and shoulders, but the stomach. Bring the elbows down, squeeze the elbows behind you. Make your arms nice and strong and active. And then we're going to bring the elbows in towards each other. So take a deep inhale, exhale, squeeze and cave, hollow out the belly. Inhale, open, exhale, hollow out the belly. Start to really squeeze the stomach in towards the spine. Feel the muscles in the arms and the shoulders. Bring the elbows in to touch, squeeze. We're gonna lift the elbows up, reaching up, and then squeeze down. Squeeze the elbows and the arms together. And then let the arms go. Take some shoulder circles, nice and soft and slow. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Press into the right hand. Open up the left side. Push that left hip down into the ground. Extend the left ribcage. Bring this left hand behind your head. Grab the back of the skull and push the skull into the hand. Feel a little tension in your neck. Maybe loosen and soften. Open up the elbow a little more. Breathing. Let that go. Inhale as we come up through center. Exhale, lower the left hand. Place the left hand down. Push the right hip down. Open up that right ribcage. Breathe. Take the right hand behind the skull. Push the skull into the hand. And then slowly inhale as we come on up through center. Roll the shoulders again. We're going to bring the feet out in front of us. We're going to take the hands behind the hips to balance. Switch quarters here, so it's taking us a while to go. So taking the hands behind us just to balance. Squeeze the stomach in towards the spine. We're going to lift and hover the feet. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the stomach. Use the stomach. Take the feet out longer. We're going to take them out wide and in. Squeezing the stomach. Take them wide, tap in. Squeezing the stomach. Squeezing the legs. Make your legs heavy. Use the muscles. Take them wide and then in, lower, hold, little flutters here. Squeezing the stomach towards the spine. And then bring it back. Take your hands just in front of your knees and let's take small spirals, soft circles with the rib cage. Nice slow circle. Reverse the circle. We've got an audience in the background here. We've got the dogs looking in the window. And then bring it on over to a tabletop position. So hands nice and wide, a little wider than the shoulders. We're going to take you through inhaling and tabletop, exhaling, sending the hips backward. Inhale, tabletop, and exhale back. So starting to really land in your breath. Land in your body, feel the movement. And then we're going to start to take it a little bigger. So inhaling forward, exhaling backwards, and then inhaling forward slowly into a little press up position, all the way back. Slow and controlled. Sink it back to child's. Relax into the ground. Feel your hands in the ground. Maybe walk them a little bit further away from you and really pull into your hands. So feel like you're pulling your hands towards you without moving your hands. Firing up in underneath the arms and shoulders. And then we're going to take the hands a little closer together, maybe even making a triangle with the index finger and thumb. And we're going to do that same movement. Inhaling forward, little press up. Exhaling, hips back. Stomach engaged, chest engaged. Staying with your breath, finding more muscles to fire up. And this time, walk your hands a little bit further forward, sinking into child's pose while pulling the hands towards you. Making this an active child's pose. Pulling on the arms, firing up the muscles. And then we're going to come down to so you can stay on your forearms with your knees up. If you would like to make it a little harder, you're going to go into forearm plank. So we're going to start with our forearms. Press your arms down into the ground and then feel like you're pulling them away from each other. Make your arms active and strong first. We're going to come forward, little forward movement, and then hips back. So starting slow and controlled. Inhaling forward, small movement, exhaling, hips back. We have the other one. And then having your arms active, sink your hips backwards, sink your shoulders towards the ground, puppy pose. And then you can keep your forearms down, or if you like, clasp your hands. We're going to press into our arms. So come forward so that you can be strong in the shoulders. Squeeze the stomach like you're pulling your stomach up, hollowing it out. You can take this from a push-up position, lifting the knees, or keep the knees down. We're going to bring right knee towards right elbow and then back. Left knee towards left elbow and then back. This is a small, slow, and controlled movement. Pressing into the arms, keeping the arms and the shoulders strong. You're coming up to a plank. You're going to do the same thing. Lifting one knee at a time, nice and slow and controlled. Stomach entirely engaged, shoulders entirely engaged. And then send the hips up towards the sky and walk the feet in. Tippy-toe the feet in nice and slow. Dolphin pose. And let the head hang. Shake the head out, shake the neck out, let the head hang. Strong in the arms. Lifting up out of the ground in the shoulders. Then lower the knees to a hover above the ground and pull the knees towards you, towards your hand, and then back. Little small movements, squeezing the core, squeezing the arms, squeezing the shoulders. Mindful of the neck, try not to hold tension in the neck in this pose. And then lower the knees, send the hips backwards. Find a child's pose and you can take it active or totally passive. Find your breath and surrender into the ground. What can you let go of? Pressing into the hands, tuck the toes, and the hips up and back, down dog. So this is your first down dog of the day. Bend the knees, take some sways, whatever feels good. Sending the knees close to the ground. You can move the hips left and right. Make some movement. And then find the stillness of this pose, connecting with your head below your heart. Bend the knees and look towards the hands. Take 1,000 tiny steps until your feet are under your hips. Take a forward fold. So if you have your chair handy, you can just hold on to the chair and take a forward fold, holding onto the chair. You can take a forward fold hanging if that's comfortable. Lots of options. So connecting with your head below your heart. Maybe opening up the backs of the legs. You can take this as little pulses, bending one knee, then the other. Or you can just hide. Lots of choices. And then bending into the knees, take a deep inhale as we bring our arms all the way up overhead. Connect with prayer. Bring our prayer down to our hearts. And we'll start to move and breathe here. Inhaling up, connecting our prayer, and bringing it down to our hearts and start to connect with this. Drawing in fresh. Grabbing what we need and releasing what we don't as we bring it down to our hearts. Inhaling, bringing in fresh. Grabbing it, drawing it down to our hearts as we release what we no longer need. We're going to work a lot on balance today, so if this feels good, staying nice and simple, stay with it. So if you'd like to add in your balance, you're going to bend the knees. Inhale as you come up to the balls of your feet. Exhale as you slowly lower the hips down to chair. Inhaling up. Exhaling, slowly lowering the heel. Keeping your stomach engaged and finding that lower point of gravity, really squeezing that lower core in towards the spine. And then see if you can keep the heels raised as you come down to a chair pose. Chair with the heels raised. Squeezing that lower core to keep your balance. Squeeze. Stomach in a little more and soften the back a little more. Soften the shoulders and the face. Find your breath. Maybe this is enough for you and you stay here, or if you can keep strong engagement in the legs, slowly open the knees and then bring them together. Open and close. Bring the knees together, lower the heels nice and slow. Bring it on up and shimmy it out. Take a little left, right with the arms. Trying to let the views be turned off in the background. Bring it back in, inhale up. Bring it down to your heart. Right, we're gonna sink it down to chair. So get set up in your chair. So legs are strong, stomach strong, back soft. So squeeze down. We're gonna think about stomach. We're gonna think about the stomach here. So we're really working the core. We're gonna think about as if we're doing crunchies on the ground, but we're gonna do yoga crunchies in a chair pose. So bring your hands to prayer, prayer out overhead. You're gonna really squeeze the stomach. You're gonna bring your prayer down towards your knees. Squeeze. So up and then down. Squeeze the core, just like we're doing the crunchie. Legs are active and strong. And then we're going to start to take this over to the left, center, over to the right. So going all the way past that right knee. Center, down towards the toes, over to the left. Squeezing the stomach. And then bring it back to regular chair. All the way back up. Hands to prayer, heart center. Shimmy and let go. You're going to have your chair facing you. We're going to turn around so that we are back to the chair. You're going to bring your left leg up and place it on the chair. So, find a position where you can come down. If you're going to squat down and this is painful or hard on your knee, bring yourself a little further away from your chair. So find the position where you can work this position. So we're in a high lunge with our foot on the chair. So squeezing the legs just as you would in high lunge. Everything is nice and strong and active. Hands to prayer. We're going to squeeze down, lower that back knee, squatting into the front leg. Squeeze down, hold. Squeeze down, hold, and then little pulses here. Tiny, small, controlled pulses. Hands at prayer first. And then we're going to take our hands out ahead of us. Make this a little bit harder. Hold it down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Legs are active. We're going to take our torso a little bit further over this front leg, over the right leg. So legs are active and strong. We're going to take our arms out wide. We're going to take our left shoulder towards that right knee. Hold here. Squeezing the legs, little pulses of the shoulder towards me. Squeezing the stomach. Bring your torso back to center. Bring the arms behind you. Clasp the hands. Stretch the shoulders. Lift the torso back up, straighten the front leg. And then slowly leaning forward on the front leg. We're going to bring that back leg bent. Bring it all the way up to stand. Cross that front leg. Let the hands go across that front leg over the right. Squeeze it down, half chair. Hold here. So squeeze it down, see if you can hold. And if you can, take little hop squats here. I think my daughter just cursed at me. This is live, you know it, right? Unravel. Tap it out. Alright, get strong on the left leg. We're going to take the right leg back. Place it on the chair. You can find it. Find my chair. So set up. Find that place where you can be strong with your right leg on the chair. Squeeze the legs. Lower the back knee down. Get nice and strong. Woo. Get nice and strong and then pulse it down. So back leg pulses, middle pulses, slow and controlled. Bring it down, squeeze it, hold it. Arms out. 2 more pulses. And bring it down, squeeze and hold. Lean the torso over the front leg, a little more. And bring that right armpit towards the left knee. Squeeze and hold, and little pulses. Everything strong. Core strong, legs strong, arms strong. Squeeze. And then bring it back to center. Slowly come forward on the left leg. Bring the right leg all the way up to stand nice and active. Cross right ankle over left knee. Squeeze it down, hop chair. And either hold here, top leg active, or you can take little tiny pulses here too. And then unravel. Let that go. Tap it out. Tap the feet out. Let it go. You're going to turn and face the chair. Place your hands on the chair and take your feet about mat width apart. You want to feel like you can push down into the feet, pull them out apart. So now the inner leg and the outer leg are active and strong. Holding here. Start to bend one knee and then the other. Nice and slow and controlled movement. Really trying to feel the outer legs and the inner legs as you move. Oh. Still there? No. Bring it back to center. Rip them out apart with your feet. Slowly bring the knees down and up. Down and up. Start to feel like you're heel driving as you push up. Push into the heel to send the hips up. And then holding onto the chair, you're going to find a position that works for your feet. Everybody's feet are different. Sometimes it helps to turn them out a little. Some people can keep them facing forward. We're going to come all the way down to squat. So take it slow, bring it down slow. Hips go side to side. And then find the position where you can get your hips down. You might need to hold on to your chair. If you can, bring your hips down. So you want to feel not like you're sinking into your hips, but you're active and strong, pressing into your heels. You're active around the knee and active around the hip. Find that position where you can lift your torso, squeeze the core, bring your hands to prayer. And holding on to the chair, so just holding for balance. We're going to press into the heels and then slowly lift up and then sink it down. Press into the heels, slowly lift up. Legs are strong and active. We're not just bouncing. Slowly lift up. Use the hamstrings. Use the back of your legs. And then bring it back in. Tap it out. Loosen up. Placing the left foot underneath the hip. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. So place your hand on the chair, holding in onto the chair. We're going to bring this knee in and then leg out. So nice, strong, active leg. And you can take this with a still left leg, or you can take it through squats as well, making it a little more challenging. Then take it to warrior three. So landing on this left leg with a slight bend in the leg, so you're nice and strong and active throughout the leg. Right leg is strong, and you can start to bring your hands behind you or stay holding the chair for balance. Slowly bending into the left leg. Lower the right leg down. Land, and come on up to high lunge. So get really strong in your base. Feel like you're pulling yourself up out of the ground with all of your muscles. We're going to focus in on our breath. We're going to breathe in fresh, reach up tall, straighten the front leg. Exhale, sweep away things no longer needed. Inhale, reach up tall. Breathe in fresh. Exhale, sweep away. Bring the torso forward. Bring it back to high lunge. Reach up tall. Huh?
No balance today. It's just not there.
Reach up tall, even taller, and then exhale, open up the shoulders, open up the chest. Imagine you can breathe in through the center of your chest. Bring the elbows back towards each other. Squeeze the arms in towards each other. Lift the elbows up, little back bend. And bringing it back down. We're going to look at our chair. We're going to lean forward on that front leg and pop up the back. Go back to baby king. Warrior three. You can hold on to the chair. Challenge yourself. Try not to grab the chair. Bend the back leg. Bring it all the way up to stand. And then let it go and tap it out. Find your breath. So feet underneath hips. Inhale, bring your prayer up overhead. Exhale, bring it down to your heart. A couple of rounds, recentering. Bring it down to a prayer, your heart space. Soften the body. So landing on your feet, maybe even closing your eyes for a moment. Feeling your prayer at your heart center. And then maybe bowing and nodding your head down to your heart center. Really landing your awareness and your intention right in this position of your heart and nowhere else for a moment in time. Steadying your breath. Landing in this moment. And if you like, you can tap your fingers together. Index fingers, I. Middle fingers, and. Ring fingers, here. Little fingers, now. Take a couple of rounds. I am here now. I am here now. And we're going to land onto the right leg. You can hold on to the chair. We're going to send the left leg, knee in towards chest, and then all the way back. So knee into chest and all the way back. Trying to find muscle. So squeezing the stomach, not just moving this leg in space floppy. Squeezing the leg, nice and strong. And you can squat through the right leg, or you can keep it still. Your inhale is open, and your exhale is bringing the knee in. And then send that left leg all the way back. Get strong in the right leg, strong in the core. Maybe float it into warrior three. Bending into the right leg, slowly lower that left leg down. Reach up tall, high lunge. So get really strong in your base. Squeeze the legs. Squeeze the core towards the spine. Soften the back a little. Inhale and lift. Exhale, sweep over. Inhale, lift the torso straight and left. Exhale, sweep the torso over. Breathe in fresh. Sweep away things no longer needed. Reach up nice and tall. Inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, open the shoulders nice and wide. Breathe in through the heart space. Squeeze the elbows towards each other, squeezing the arms. Lift the elbows up high, little tiny back bend. And bring it back down. And bring your torso over the right leg. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Maybe pop up the left, warrior three. Use your chair. Challenge yourself, challenge your balance. Breathe. Bending that back leg, bring it all the way up to stand. And then lower it down and tap it up. Recenter. Inhaling in, Bring your prayer down to our heart. Take our feet a little wider, about mat width apart. Landing pretty soft on our feet. We're going to challenge our balance a little bit differently today. So we're going to bring right elbow to left knee. We're going to take this pretty fluid. So squeezing right elbow to left knee, land, squat, left elbow to right knee. Woo! Land, squat. Take this pretty fast. Challenge your balance. Squeeze and squat. And then land in the center. Find your breath. We're going to inhale in and swan dive it down this time. Bending the knee, touching the ground, stepping right foot back and left foot back. High plank. So finding whatever high plank works for you. You can have your arms wide or together. Challenge yourself in a different position than you're used to. Get really, really, really strong in the core. Squeezing the stomach towards the spine. Legs are strong, a little bend in the legs. Send energy out the heels. And then we're going to land into side plank. So lots of variations. Left hand down, swinging over to the side of the left foot. This is full side plank. Lifting up. So you really want to focus on this underside of the body, pushing the hips up out of the sky, up, out towards the sky. Lifting and holding. You can lower this left knee. Try and hold the side plank, and then we're going to squeeze, 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 lower the hips towards the ground, and then up. Ground, and then up. Doing this with the knee down, ground, and then up. So this top arm stays active. Maybe try and punch it through the ceiling to remind you to keep it active or strong. Don't just dump into the shoulder. You're squeezing the hip down. Slowly through full plank over to the right side. Lower the right heel, lower the right knee, whichever version works for you. Lift up out of the ground. Strong and active. Maybe punch the ceiling with the top hand. And then whichever version you were doing, lowering the hip nice and slow and up. Squeezing the core. Back through plank, nice and slow. Lower the knees and find child. And what can you let go of? Surrender into the ground. Option to take your hands to prayer. Interlace your hands and bring your prayer behind your head. Surrendering into a little ball shape. Letting go. Letting go of control, even your breath. Slowly bring the torso up and swing the legs out in front. My socks. Bring the legs out in front. I'm going to take them nice and wide. Oops.
Totally smashed.
So taking the legs wide, press the heels down into the ground. And just start to take little inner thigh movements. So lifting one knee and the other, putting one knee down. Just trying to feel your legs, feel your inner thighs. We're going to bring the right foot, right heel, in towards left thigh. We're going to turn and look at the left thigh. Lift the right arm and take the right arm across the left leg wherever it lands. So we're going to reach up. We're focusing on the top of this right hip. This is where we want the stretch. So wherever that is for you, stretch, 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 stretch as far as you can. Maybe you can catch the foot. Maybe you can just catch the shin. Once you get here, land it and play. So really feeling some movement with the shoulders and the chest. Finding stretch across, finding movement across the top of this right hip. If you can catch the foot, and cross the left hand over. So right hand is one side, left hand is the other side of the foot. And then pull down towards your foot. Very mindful whenever we pull because we're adding force. So being gentle and mindful with your body, never going to an end zone. There is no goal in yoga. Whenever you find comfort and ease and something is no longer a little bit of a challenge, there's always somewhere else to go. There's no goal. The only purpose is to be in your body, listening to your body, listening to where your attention is at. Slowly lift up out of this. Place the left hand behind the left hip. You're going to place the right foot down, press into the right foot, sweep this right hand up, and lift the hips, stretch. If you have space, I don't have space. Push the right hip up, open up the right side body. Slowly lower the left hip, sweep it round. Switch legs. Crowded space in here. So getting nice and tall, left hand up, stretching left side and connecting with it first. So reaching it long, opening it up, and then twisting over, grabbing the other side, right side of your right foot, or right side of your shin. Maybe crossing over. And pulling down and rest your head. So take attention out of your neck. Slowly bring your torso back up. Plant the right hand just behind the right hip. You're going to bring the left foot down. Press into the left foot. Sweep this left arm up and over. Coming up that left side body. Pressing into the feet. Make this strong and active. Slowly lower the hips. Bring the soles of the feet together. Draw the knees down towards the ground. Good. Yep. Take little bounces. Great, we're going to come on down to our backs. So if you have your chair, feel free to have your chair ready. We're going to end up, as we do in the studio with this class, you have the option to bring your feet onto the chair and land in this pose. So actually, Kaylee, why don't you just come on over here and I'll talk you through it. So coming on down to your back and taking some wiggles. Let me get you one second. Hey, real quick. Make sure you take a little wiggle across the hips. Trying to let that natural curve in your lower back return. Not to over flatten your lower back to the ground. Give your head a couple of side to sides on the ground. Really letting go. Let go of the tension in your neck. Land your chin all the way over to the right shoulder. Feel the tension on the left side of the neck. Maybe move the chin a little. See where the tension is on the left side of the neck. And slowly bring your chin back through center and over to the left side and maybe move the chin a little, feeling the tension on the right side of your neck. And then bring the chin back to center. And give the muscles of the neck a squeeze. So squeeze the muscles of the neck. And if you're not sure how to squeeze the muscles of the neck, try pushing your head a little bit into the ground and your shoulders a little bit into the ground. See if that fires up the muscles of the neck. Squeeze and hold the neck. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release suddenly. And then take a little side sway of the neck, the head, side to side. Little soft, gentle sway. See if there's a little lax tension. And then bring the fists into place. So we're going to do the same thing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the muscles of our neck. Squeeze our shoulders down. Maybe push our head a little bit into the ground. Feel the neck. And then bring the arms into play. Make fists really, really strong. Tight, 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 tight. Push the shoulders into the ground. Tighter, 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 tighter. And then release suddenly. And see if that lets go of a little more tension in around the neck and the shoulders. See if you can feel your shoulder blades. See if you can soften around the shoulder blades, allowing the shoulder blades to release into the ground. See if you can land in the hips and allow the bones of your hips, the pelvic bowl, to land on the ground. See if you can soften the muscles in the stomach, in the front of the legs, in the front of the hips a little more. And find your breath. Find the magic of your breath. So rather than forcing your breath, strong in, strong out, release it. Just watch it. Become present with it. As if being awestruck by the magic of your own breath, moving in and moving out. going to read from the Radiant Sutra. Moving in the air, flying, a bird, an aerial being. Particular position of the fingers. An earring or cylinder of wood passed through the lobe of the ear. Sometimes the life force in us just wants to break out and be wildly free, as if it were flying, breathing flame on people, or able to put on such a scary face that everyone would leave us alone. Children do this as the mood strikes them, and in yoga, this movement has a name. A meaning, that which gives joy. In yoga, there are both wild and peaceful poses. Strike a pose. Feel free to throw yourself down into the corpse pose, as carefree as a skeleton on Halloween. Make a face as if you were angry or absolutely astonished, eyes wide open in awe. Sometimes in meditation practice, such gestures will spontaneously arise and carry you. There is a sense of supreme satisfaction as you fly beyond your ordinary constrictions. Meditation is powered by our life energy, which wants to break free. And when it does, it is both peaceful and wild. You need to bust out some new moves. This often happens to people after a couple of years of sitting in meditation. Their bodies just get tired of sitting, and that is it. Sitting is over. From now on, let's dance. If we have come to yoga for healing, we may have needed our practice to be a cast or a cage, so that the bone in a broken wing can set. Now it is time to stretch our wings and fly again, so our practice needs to change. Feel an inner urge to abandon the cage of practice that got us this far. This is not a failure of yoga, it is a success. So allowing your breath and your life force to move freely through your body. As you lay here, and allow your minds to move freely, your thoughts to move freely. Thoughts are just firing of the brain. And there is no evidence that these firings are at all linked to our personality, our environment, or what's going on around us. They're just thoughts. They're just firings, neurons moving in our brain. The brain just keeps moving and the thoughts just keep firing, and they're completely at random, and sometimes, of course, affected by our past or our present or our situation. But sometimes they are just completely random. And the practice of yoga is not about pushing them away, getting rid of them, but about moving below those firings and understanding that they just are. And trying not to get caught up in running away and trapped in the tunnel, the direction of the thoughts. Just watching them fire and allowing them to be. So slowly becoming quieter and quieter. Physically quieter. Pausing in on your thoughts and noticing your thoughts. Noticing how you feel in this physical body. Noticing any emotions that are present. And then noticing the fact that you are something more than your thoughts, something more than your feelings, and something more than just this physical body. And as if going on a little quest, go in search of that something more, the truest part of yourself, your bliss layer. Looking for that unstruck chord, your own rhythm, your vibration. Slowly bring awareness to the palms of your hands. Bring some gentle movements to the fingers and then bring your index finger and your thumb together. And rub little circles on your thumb with your index finger. So this gesture, bringing your index finger and your thumb together, is often considered a gesture of bringing yourself to connect with something bigger than yourself. I mean, you combined with the universe, you with your higher power, whatever that might be, but you with something bigger than yourself. So connect with that concept of being connected to something greater than yourself. And then we'll finish the practice the same as we started by bringing that I am here now. Slowly and gently, slowly bringing one finger at a time. I am here now. I am here now. Take a couple of rounds, connecting with your fingertips, touching your thumb. Really thinking about only your hands and these words. Single point focus for just a moment, landing in this moment in time, in this physical body. And complete a full round and allow your hands to soften open. And then bring a knee at a time, slowly in towards your chest. And curl up in a fetal position, whichever side is calling to you. Connecting with this pose, the fetal position. Reminding us of the time in the womb when all of our needs were met. We had not judged ourselves as negative or positive or passed ourselves through the duality of life. We're simply a little spark of life. And come to this pose to remember that the spark of life exists within us, unchanged by our experiences. Waiting there patiently for us to connect within. And then come on up to a seated position, hands of prayer at heart space. Bring your prayer to touch your chest center. Feel this connection. And then bring your head down to bow to your heart center. And spend a few breaths accepting yourself as whole and complete, exactly as you are in this moment. And then bring your prayer up to your third eye, your forehead. And send a little unconditional love and acceptance out into your community, into your family, into someone in particular. May we know love, light, and connection. Thank you so much for joining us.